Well, officials say President Biden will keep the U.S. Space Command headquarters in Colorado. The Trump administration had previously proposed a relocation from Colorado Springs to Huntsville, Alabama. The head of Space Command said such a move would have harmed military readiness. So joining us now, CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, good to see you. I actually just came back from Huntsville, and I'd never been there before. And that was the one thing that struck me, is you're very aware of the sort of impact of the aerospace industry, defense contractors. Just there's a space camp there. It's kind of like, I think the nickname is Aerospace City, in fact, Huntsville. So a number of Alabama Republicans are calling the president's decision not to move the Space Force Command partisan politics. They've also accused the president of prioritizing his political agenda over national security. So can you just break down the history here, the politics, the back and forth over the relocation decision?
This is certain to launch a political investigation, if not a political dust storm. Alabama not only has that Huntsville space culture in its DNA, but obviously it has some very well-positioned Republicans. This Congress, it's an Alabama Republican who chairs the House Armed Services Committee. There's an Alabama Republican on the pivotal House Appropriations Committee, and then there's Senator Tommy Tuberville, who has cut a particularly high profile over the past few weeks. So there are going to be investigations and reviews of this decision, but there's also this reality. The administration arguing that the decision was made to keep the Space Command in Colorado Springs, which also has aviation in its DNA with the Air Force, because it is simply much more stable to keep a major branch of the military in a place where it already exists versus trying to transplant it a couple thousand miles. But it's going to become a political wedge issue no matter what either side argues, because you're going from a state that was a devoted supporter of President Biden in 2020 to a state that was very much not. That's the story that's being written here, and it's going to play out when Congress returns here in September.
In essence, both sides then playing politics, the former president, the current one potentially. But what justification does the current White House give for this decision? And have we heard from military leaders about the decision to stay in Colorado as opposed to move to Alabama?
Our CBS News reporting it is that there was an argument that this is a stability move, that this is something that helps the military by keeping the military in a place where it's already developed its root system. There was in 2021, when former President Trump made this a decision in the 11th hour of his presidency, truly in January 2021, to transplant the Space Command to Alabama, there was a sense from federal inspectors who reviewed that decision in 2022 that there was a lack of transparency, and some of the factors that go into base realignments were not fully followed. Some were, some weren't. But there's also this reality, Ed, with which you've become familiar over the years, that typically when you do base realignments and closures in the federal government, you try to take the politics out of it. You appoint this independent commission to do it, because there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers, there's going to be critics, there's going to be supporters, no matter what you choose. But here we are in 2023, on the eve of an election year, and the Biden administration has made a decision that will be viewed as political, but potentially beneficial politically.
Yeah, we'll see. Just real quick, you mentioned Senator Tuberville. Senate's obviously in recess. They're not going to be back till September. So those hundreds of military promotions he continues to hold up remain in limbo, right?
We have asked him repeatedly. He has told me that he's not going to look for an off-ramp here, that the only way he's going to yield in his decision is if the Pentagon reverses this policy, which I'll remind folks is a policy in which the Pentagon will provide for time off or for travel expenses for some service members who seek abortion services due to new restrictions in some states on abortion services. Senator Tuberville has taken this stance, and he has amplified any number of his concerns through a national megaphone, and he is not surrendering that megaphone, even though Congress is on recess. We expect him to continue making the argument and continue making this stance when the Senate returns here after Labor Day.
Yeah, we are, after all, talking about them, and that is sometimes part of what they're up to.
Exactly. Scott MacFarlane, thank you.